name is Mark Tese Gbillah. I represent Gwe East, Gwe West Federal Constituency of Benue State. Mr. Speaker, I rise on Order 8, Rule 4, on an issue regarding the resurgence of wanton killing of innocent Nigerians in Gwe West and other local government areas of Benue State by suspected herdsmen. Mr. Speaker, I want to move that this matter be considered as urgent, and considering our provisions to take 2 rules per day, I want to ask that we suspend our relevant rules to allow me move this matter immediately. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Constituency, I rise to support the motion that we suspend our rules to enable Honorable Gbillah move his motion. Thank you. I withdraw that statement, sir.
All right. So that's that we suspend our rules. Let me take that question, and then we'll go to. I hope I got this right, and then we'll go to the second leg. Yes. Those in support that the motion is just urgent enough to for us to suspend our rules and allow a third matter, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. The second leg of the motion, I think that has overtaken it because it means that it's urgent. Yes. Okay. Honorable Gbillah.
Honorable colleagues, I rise to raise a motion on the resurgence of wanton killing of innocent Nigerians in Gwe West and other local government areas of Benue State by suspected herdsmen. The House is alarmed at the brutal murder of 17 innocent Nigerians by suspected herdsmen in Bamondu village, Vengav, in Avihijime ward of Gwe West local government area of Benue State on Sunday, May 2nd, 2021, and the recent apparent resurgence in the murder of innocent, helpless Nigerians by suspected herdsmen in Gwe West, Guma, Makudi, and Agatu local government areas of Benue State, where over 70 people have been murdered in the last 3 weeks, with over 30 people murdered in Gwe West local government alone in that same period. The House is concerned about the seeming inability of Operation Wellstroke operatives stationed in Gwe West local government area and other security agencies in the area to counter the current guerrilla tactics of these attackers, immediately respond to distress calls by the victims, proactively prevent these attacks, and identify or apprehend even one of these murderers in the last 3 weeks who are suspected to be exacting vengeance on innocent citizens in Benue because of their displeasure with the Benue State government's enforcement of the anti-open grazing law, which is a legitimate constitutional legislation that other agencies are alleged not to be supporting the state government with implementation and enforcement of. The House is worried at the thousands of internally displaced persons who have fled their homes as a result of these attacks and are currently seeking refuge in very unsanitary and uncovered schools and locations in different parts of the state without any means of sustenance, shelter, or protection, and are at the mercy of inclement weather and likelihood of further attacks by the suspected herdsmen. The House is also worried at the increasing number of IDPs these attacks have created, in addition to the hundreds of thousands of IDPs already existing across Benue, Nasarawa, and Taraba states, who for several years have been unable to return to their homes, and neither have they been resettled, but are languishing in inhuman conditions with increasing cases of loss of lives from malnourishment and disease, which have enhanced maternal and infant mortality in circumstances where children have been born for over 5 years without access to education or proper medical care. The House resolves to ask the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to immediately provide relief materials to affected communities and IDPs in Gwe West local government area and other affected local government areas in Benue, Nasarawa, and Taraba states, which should include food items, clothing, building materials, temporary shelter, and health intervention, and mandate the House Committees on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness and internally displaced persons to ensure compliance. The House resolves to mandate the House Committees on Emergency and Disaster Preparedness and Appropriation to prevail on the Budget Office and NEMA to ensure adequate extra allocation is provided in any impending supplementary budget and in NEMA 2022 budget to enable NEMA provide monthly comprehensive intervention to IDP camps across Benue, Nasarawa, and Taraba states, as is currently the case with IDP camps in the Northeast. The House also resolved to request the Defense Ministry and Nigerian Army to immediately deploy more personnel and equipment, including surveillance and intelligence gathering technology, to Operation Wellstroke operatives in Benue State to enable them tackle this resurgence of attacks by suspected herdsmen, and mandate the House Committees on Defense and Army to ensure compliance. The House also resolves to mandate the House Committees on Defense and Army to immediately conduct an investigation into the prevailing circumstances and conditions of Operation Wildstroke and other military operatives across the country, with a view to identify any constraints deterring them from carrying out their mandate of protecting the lives and property of Nigerian people, and report back to the House in 4 weeks. The House also mandates the House Committee on Police Affairs and Justice to investigate the allegation that security agencies are unwilling to support the Benue State government in the enforcement of the anti-open grazing law and the constitutional implication and position in this regard, and report back to the House in 4 weeks. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the House resolves to ask the federal government to immediately intervene in the plight of IDPs across Benue, Nasarawa, and Taraba states, with a view to returning them to their homes or resettling them, reconstruction of damaged communities, and provision of educational, health, and other required facilities, in line with the pronouncement by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in Benue State on 18 May 2018 that 10 billion naira have been approved by the President for reconstruction and resettlement of communities in Nigeria ravaged by herdsmen attacks. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable colleagues, my name is Obinna Chidoka, member representing Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency of Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to support the motion, which is very urgent, cogent, verifiable, moved by my colleague, Right Honorable Gbillah. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it.